Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Not a good evening for some people because their child was horrifically abused by another child. So if you've seen the New York Post, New York Times, Today's Show, anything that's going around right now, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see who's in here. Let's see. Hello, Missy. Hello, Fun to Ski. Hello. Let's wait for everyone to get their notifications. Words really can't put together what happened to Dominick Krankall. They can't. Hey, Jay Butter. They can't. They can't. Hey, Melanie. I'm going to actually bring his parents up really quick and they can introduce themselves. And it's absolutely insane what went on and the backlash this family is getting from little Dominic. What happened to him? Hey, Nene. Hey, Steve. Hang on one second. Hello, everyone. We are live. Hello. Let's start with the backstory. I know we can't use children's names. Everyone knows Dominic's name.
Do you want us to start with the backstory?
If you don't mind, and then I'm going to play a news clip and we're going to go through that. Because, I mean, a lot of people don't even know actually what happened to your son.
Okay, so earlier in the day, my children went downstairs with the downstairs boys, and their mother was home, and she was in the kitchen. She said she was watching them. So when I went to check out the window, I saw that her children were playing with gas, and then my children were next to them. And yes, they were kicking balls away from them with fire and, whatever.
Now, hang on one second.
Gasoline.
No, hang on. Let's back up. They were playing with gas down there. You were not home. You were not there.
No, I was there. They were in the at first they were in the driveway playing basketball, and then somehow they wandered into the backyard where the other two boys that were downstairs were playing gasoline. So when I looked out the window, I saw gasoline was being involved. So I went downstairs and I brought my two boys inside because the downstairs neighbors were playing with gasoline and lighters. So I brought my two boys inside.
Okay, so now at this point, where were you guys living? You're in Connecticut. Where were you guys living?
A 3-floor apartment in Bridgeport.
The second floor.
All right. Okay. Just trying to get a better idea for everyone in here. All right.
No, so of course. Yeah, no, I know.
No, everyone here is respectful, and no one is going to throw any hate your way. So the children were playing with gasoline and lighters.
The downstairs children, yes.
Okay. All right.
This was a floor of there was kids on the bottom floor. There's 8 boys down there, okay? On the first floor.
All right. Explain to me when you guys moved in your relationship. Let's go to the beginning before we get to the end. So you moved,
the way we met them was we were all living in a hotel in Shelton because the downstairs people who their grandfather owns the home, that home was caught on fire in March of 2021. So they had to move into a hotel because somehow a fire started in their basement with a dirt bike. So they had to move into a hotel, which is where we met them because we were living in a hotel looking for another rental. So we met them there. Then they told us about their grandfather
Now,
having.
when was this? Hang on. When was this? When
This
was this?
This was in
March of 21.
March of 2021. They were living in the same hotel that we were.
Because there was an unexplained fire in their basement.
Exactly, with a dirt bike, supposedly.
But it was never necessarily exactly like figured out. You know what I mean? It was still like
there's no cause to the fire, but there was a fire.
This is how we met the family.
Okay, so in this, how did you wind up moving into the same residence as them?
Because their 17-year-old son told us that his grandfather had an apartment for rent that's been vacant for a while on the second floor. And so we went and met with the grandfather, and he rented us the apartment.
Okay, and how was that? Was he a nice guy? Did you have any apprehensions? What was going on there?
No, he's a nice guy. He's an old Italian guy, but he's a nice guy. Like, we're not going to complain about him. He's an old Italian guy. Like, he let us in, like, it was as is. So, we had no problems with him. We rented the apartment.
He didn't live there, you know what I mean? He was just there. He was just the owner of the home.
He didn't get along with his daughter downstairs, but
okay, so as from when you moved in there, what was your relationship with everyone else in the house?
I ended up becoming friends with the woman downstairs that has the 8 boys, which is one of the boys that all of this happened with. So we were friends, like, every day. Like we were good friends, which is why this is so, like, disturbing, because we were good friends. And I saw that, her child had issues, and I would bring that to her attention because there were several issues that her son had at school or at the house with bullying my children, and I would bring that to her attention. And she just said that she had a lot going on with her husband and she couldn't deal with it right now, but it was just because of the issue she had with her husband. So she never got him help. Okay, there's videos I have of her son that are disturbing that he sent to my daughters, that he clearly needs help. Like, needs help, or he's going to hurt himself or somebody else. And I'm not saying that lightly. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. Like, this child needs help. So we were friends on a daily basis. Like, we talked every day. Her kids, like her son, her 3-year-old would come up and play with my 3-year-old. Like, we were friends. So for this to happen, and the last words for her to say were, "Your kid did this to himself," hurt me in more ways than you can imagine.
Well, let's scoot back.
Mother.
Let's scoot back and explain more of your relationship with your friendship with her and how the kids played together. I mean, her accusation, we're not going to talk about that right now. I know what she's throwing out.
I'm sure. I know. So, she couldn't go to the stores because she said she had anxiety. So it was either me or my children who had to stop what they were doing, like my older children, like my 17-year-old and my 14-year-old. She couldn't go into stores because she had such anxiety. So either me or my kids would go into the stores with her. I have had her 3-year-old upstairs multiple times watching him because either she was out or her husband wasn't there and couldn't watch him, or her other kids wanted to come upstairs, but at a certain point I stopped allowing that because
usually we would tell them no,
her
because
kids were just getting really bad, like being like bullying, like hurting them, saying things to them that wasn't appropriate, and we didn't want our kids catching on to that and acting like that.
But it would even get worse in the sense where like they would come up and they would start just like acting out of control. So we'd be like, look, you got to go downstairs, please. Like, you guys are just kind of showing a bad example for our boys now. And they would turn into that as like, you know what, then? Well, screw you. And they would end up, once we finally got them out the door, they'd start kicking holes in the hallway walls. They'd start kicking our doors really hard. They eventually started popping our locks with keys and stuff, like, or like cards to try to pop the lock. I'm saying really horrific things. They started stealing my mail. It started getting to like just be unlivable. But again, we didn't have the money to just uproot and leave. But clearly once, they set my son on fire, that was a whole different story. Then we obviously had to get the hell out of there. We just put every dollar we had to stay at a hotel. I would never let, any of our kids go back to that scene at that point.
No. No. The backstory is really important. So she can't control her own kids.
Not even close to it. And the sad thing about it was even with the mail situation. So this is the very beginning, because I know you were asking about that. So when it first all started, this is about maybe 3 months into living there. Okay, we were only there for a total of a year and maybe 7 days before when this incident happened. So we moved in of April, I believe it was April 16th of 21, or I'm sorry, April 17th. And like I said, this whole thing happened like it was the 23rd, 24th. Everything's moving so slow that I can't even recall. But all I'm trying to get at is that it just led up to that. She wouldn't ever reprimand the kids for anything. Like when they took the mail, it was like, oh, they don't know how to read. And it was like, clearly they could read, you know what I mean? But the whole point of it was I was more upset about the fact that that's a federal crime. And the point is they're grabbing my packages, stealing things out of it. I didn't even care about what got stolen, but it's the fact that you do that to anybody. You know what I mean? We receive a wrong package at our house and it says the neighbor next door, we're going to return it. That's the point.
She just never reprimanded her children for the wrongdoing they did. They stole our children's gift cards at the birthday party.
Now, we can't say names. We can't say names. What was the relationship between Dominic and the child that set him on fire?
Okay, Dominic is one of those kids that wants to be friends with everyone. So even if somebody
him in the background, he was trying to be friends with me. I mean, he's outgoing. He is spunky.
So even if somebody does something bad to him, he still tries to be friends with them, because that's just dumb. Like, I'll be honest with you, even tonight, he wouldn't order food for dinner unless he knew his older sister, who doesn't feel that great, was going to eat. Like, that's Dominic. He just wants to be friends and make everybody else feel comfortable. So he still would want to be friends with somebody who's mean. And that's why he, instead of coming right back up the stairs that day, he heard the boys in the backyard, so he walked to the backyard. Like, that's a big point of all of this. He went into that backyard, and he will tell you, if you ask him yourself, he heard the boys in the backyard, and he just wanted to see what they were doing, and he walked through that back gate.
And before I get to the clips, I do not want to upset you guys. I do not want to do that, or anyone. Why did they set him on fire? Because there is no justifiable reason for it.
To be honest, in my honest opinion, this boy was so sick in the head that I tell you what, I think he just wanted to see what would happen when he soaked a gas ball with gasoline and lit it on fire and threw it in my son's face to see what would happen to somebody. I honest to God think that's why he did it. That was the path he was on. He had already threatened to shoot up a school. He's 8 years old. I mean, what else? You know what I mean? Are you going to experiment or try to do at that point? He was already the kid already knew how to use a lighter and gasoline. So at that point, it was like, what would happen if I lit this kid on fire? He's the type of kid to be like, oh, what would happen if I lit this cat on fire? What would happen if I took this cat and threw him off the roof? I'm saying real psychopathic shit. Excuse my language.
Well, he killed their cockatiel bird, so.
We heard a rumor he killed the pet bird. So I mean, I'm sorry.
You can say whatever you want to say. I've got a million questions, and I can't get to them right now. So as long as you guys are okay, we're going to go through this, okay?
Okay.
Hospital with burns on his face and on his body. His mom says he was hit by a ball that was soaked in gas and set on fire. Horrific story. News 12 Connecticut, Suzanne Goldbank joining us now from Bridgeport Hospital with more. Suzanne?
Come on, pause it right there. A ball soaked in gasoline and he threw it at him?
Yes, that's what Dominic told us. We believe Dominic. There's no reason.
What was going on with this kid?
He told that to the police officers too, like 6 times the same night, even though they tried to change his story. And he was like, they tried to change it saying, so did you light the ball on fire? He's like, and he couldn't listen to me. He could barely talk. He had like a straw hole of a mouth that he could talk out of. And it took him a long time to say what he had to say. But he said, no. He took the ball, lit it on fire, and threw it at me on fire.
Like a fireball.
Like a fireball.
That's how we describe it.
He said the same thing over and over again.
And you've got his crazy mother who raised a crazy kid going after you guys on social media.
Yes.
Oh, yes. She's desperate.
She has herself. She has other people. She's conniving herself into people's lives. She's a very evil.
She's even reaching out to my ex-husband, trying to make stories up. Like,
she's a perfect example of a narcissist. She wants everyone to love her. When she has negative attention, she fires back very hard to make people want, even though it's just people around the block believing her story at this point and a few people on social media, she's still very disturbed that a lot of people don't like her because of how she's parenting. But there's people around the block that will even tell you she's not a good mother. There's a lot of people around the block that say your kids have been banned from my store because of how they act. This is all facts that can be backed up. You know what I mean?
But not even that.
They're backed up.
While we were moving out, once the cops left, they all started like she called like friends and people that she knows. They were surrounding the stairs, so we couldn't even walk down the stairs to get our stuff out. Like they pushed the same kid that threw the ball at my son was pushing my 14-year-old daughter down the stairs. And she said, stop. And he said, go F yourself. Like it doesn't end.
And listen to this. When we finally did the 8-hour move on Saturday and got everything out that we had to get out, we hear from the kid as soon as the police pulled off because they said they can only stay there for a certain amount of hours. We didn't finish moving until about like almost 7 o'clock, 6:30. The police left around 5. As soon as they left, the one who set my son on fire goes, "Who's going to protect you now, Maria?" Yells it to the top of the window, right in front of the mother too. And again, no reprimanding. She laughed. She thought it was funny. And we have Dominic Strong on. He writes Stefano Strong, or I'm sorry, he writes a name in the driveway saying something strong. It's really bad. Quick, funny. Ain't fought a good fight. Stop. Got it. Yeah.
States a lot to show who's wrong.
You guys have to go back and say it again because you sound like robots. It's just the connection.
Can you hear us?
We can now. It sounded like a robot for a second. That's just what the connection. So go back to what you were saying.
There's a lot of wind down here. There's a lot right now. I'm just gonna go back to the room.
Well, while they're getting resituated, I'm going to play the rest of the news clip. Hang on.
Good evening, Eric. Police say a few kids were playing with gas and lighters behind their home. That's when the 6-year-old got burned on Sunday. Since then, he's been here. His mother calls what happened bullying. We should warn you, some of the pictures in the story may be difficult to see.
It's absolute torture to see your child that can't even put food in his mouth and chew.
Maria Rua can't stop feeling her 6-year-old son's pain.
Yesterday, he looked in the mirror and he said, "Mommy, why do I look like that?"
Police report the child got burned Sunday when a few young neighbors were playing outside with lighters and gas.
The 2 children that lived downstairs earlier were playing with gasoline and lighters. So as I was walking through the apartment to get to the back door, I heard him screaming, "Mommy, help me, they set me on fire."
Maria calls what happened bullying.
It's not like he accidentally was playing with gasoline and then...
Okay. No. Children do not accidentally play with gasoline and lighters. They don't. And I have a lot of things to say about this. Hold on one second. And a lot of you do too. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
So kids do not play with gasoline and lighters.
100%.
And the fact is, the children were not being supervised. Dominic is playing with the other children who have not been supervised for a long time, from what I'm gathering.
Yeah, like I said, we were under the impression, because the backyard is right in View's yard of where she said she was watching her children plus ours. Otherwise, we obviously wouldn't have let them be out there.
And on top of that, why can't kids play in the backyard? What is going on with this child that wanted to play with fire so much?
No, exactly what we were trying to get at. It's a fenced in backyard. It's small, but it's fenced in. We always thought, for the most part, it was safe. Especially if he was only out there for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We wouldn't let him be out there longer than that. 5-10 minutes, we poke out the window, see what's going on. If something bad's going on, hey, come inside, buddy. Let's this isn't okay anymore.
All right, we have a lot of questions rolling in. We'll get to them in a second. Let's get to this. Hang on.
And my son walked through. He threw a ball at his face and set my son on fire.
For now, the hospital is home.
To watch him in pain when he's getting his face scraped It's horrifying. I wish it was me instead of him.
I just couldn't find myself to tears back because he's my best friend in the whole world. And just seeing him like this and you can barely eat, can't really see, but he's still being a trooper about it.
But there's hope. Thank God he doesn't need surgery. As far as scarring, there should be minimal to no scarring.
Touched by the boy's plight, people online offer support.
He's a strong boy and he's got a good spirit, and I know he'll pull through.
Now, there is another side to this story. We went to the house where it happened and met the other family. They say this was not bullying and that they have been receiving threats on Facebook. They asked us not to show the house on TV because they say they fear for their safety. In Bridgeport, Suzanne Goldclass.
All right, something is not right here. Something is not right here. Have Child Protective Services been anywhere near the place you were living?
Yes, yeah, they had come by to her, and she wouldn't let them
After this.
before as well. No, after, yes, but before, and you know what she would tell us? We don't let DCF in the door. She goes, you don't have to let them in the door legally. You don't have to let them in the door. That's what she would do because she didn't want to hear the truth.
Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, just there's a lot of questions going on in chat.
They beat their 14-year-old because he's stating facts. No.
Somebody almost broke the nose because they came over to their friends, and he tried to shoot them. He hit it, fast ball, put him in the door on the box. And then he went.
Okay, we have a lot of background noise. So who called the ambulance?
I called 911.
Okay. And so from when, who witnessed what happened to Dominic?
Nobody, no adult witnessed it because Dominic was walking from the front yard after saying bye to a guest. He heard the boys in the backyard. Even though he was supposed to come up the front steps, he didn't, and he went through the back. And I looked out the front window to see if he was coming up, and I didn't see him. So as I was walking through the living room to the back door, I heard him screaming, "Mommy, help me, they set me on fire." So I walked to the back door, finished walking to the back door, saw him coming up the steps with a red face, and his face was peeling, his leg was smoking, coming up the stairs.
His leg was smoking? What do you mean?
Because he rolled to put the fire out, so his leg was still smoking. So once he got into the apartment, we took his clothes off. Aaron put him in the shower because we didn't know what else to do while I was on the phone with the 911.
No shower, cold bath.
Okay, rewind. His leg was smoking. You put him in the shower, but no adults witnessed this.
No, nobody was outside at the time. This was all in a matter of like not even 5 minutes. He went downstairs to say bye to a friend of ours that was leaving. And he was supposed to come right back upstairs to the front way. But he didn't because he heard the boys in the backyard. So he walked to the backyard. And when I didn't see him coming up the front way, I looked out the window. He wasn't there. I went towards the back door. And that's when I heard him screaming, "Mommy, help me. They set me on fire." And then I ran to the back door and he was running up the back steps. His leg on smoking.
Okay.
His face was red and peeling.
His leg was red and peeling. Okay.
No, his face was red and peeling. His leg was smoking.
All right. So from there, What did you do?
Called 911.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Now how long was Dominic in the hospital?
So it happened on a Sunday, so he was in there for a week and a day.
Okay.
But mind you, as that happened, when that happened that day, when he said that they lit me on fire and I ran towards the back door and his father ran towards the front door, the mother of the child was in front of the house taking selfies or doing a TikTok. So she was in front of the house.
That TikTok shit makes me so mad.
She was clearly home. She was home, but she deleted her TikTok immediately after. So, but she was home. She was home at this point. Like, do you understand? Like, she was home. She should have came home and made sure her kids were okay, but this is just a typical thing with her.
Right. And you guys have your own apartment. So
We have our own apartment. And
it's
he
not
wasn't
your job to watch the other children.
Absolutely not. And I would, even if she asked me to watch those two, I would say no, because they do not listen. They threaten me. I would not watch them. No. They're horrible. I'm sorry, not to be mean, but the things that they say are horrible. They have threatened to set me on fire, stab me, kill me. Like, no, I would not watch those children. No.
No, nobody wants to be around the children of the corn. They
used to be okay when we first moved in, but then things started to get worse and worse and worse. So, and let me tell you, there's been times where we were in our bed sleeping, and even the mother would walk into our bedroom saying, "Why are you sleeping?" It's like, I don't know. It's 10 o'clock at night. Why would we be sleeping? Like, come on. Like, it's like, it was just like an invasion of privacy all the time living there. It was just bullying, invasion of privacy. It was just like, it was just horrible to live there. So.
Yeah, this is insane. So what happened when the paramedics got there?
So Aaron, which is Dominic's dad, didn't know what to do because I was on the phone with 911. So he took Dominic's clothes off, put him in the tub, and just because Dominic was screaming and sorry, it's hard to even talk about it, but he was screaming and frantic. So he put him in the tub thinking it would cool him down. And then 911 said to just don't take him out of there and just wrap him in a towel, which is what we did while the child's mother was up there saying, my kid had nothing to do with this. But anyway, so we put him in the towel, sat him on the couch, waited for the ambulance to get there. Once they got there, they took him and they took him down to the ambulance. Aaron went with them. I had to stay because they said I had to talk to the police, which the police ended up putting me in handcuffs, saying that I was responsible for her children. So I was arrested for 20 minutes in the back of a police car while my kid was in the hospital and I couldn't even be with him. Just for them to say that they were just detaining me to not cause problems, even though I wasn't causing problems. I was just standing out there waiting to talk to the cops so I could go to the hospital to be with my son, while she was inside and her children were standing at their window lighting lighters, harassing my other children that their brother was lit on fire by their brother. Lighting lighters. Where's the maturity in that? How is that even okay?
Now, why were you arrested?
Because they said I neglected to take care of her children.
They're not your responsibility.
No, they're not. That is my point. to the world. Like, why is that my responsibility? Like, they're not my kids, they're not my family. Just because she wasn't home, why am I responsible for them? She had a 25-year-old home and she had a 22-year-old home. Why do I have to watch her children? And even if she gave me $1 million to watch those two, I still wouldn't watch them because they're not good kids. They're horrible. Like, I wouldn't watch them. So that's not my responsibility. And I didn't agree to watch them. I was getting ready to go fishing. We were going fishing that day. Like, I was getting ready to go fishing with all of our kids, our whole family. It was, a good day turned really bad.
Does it have onions?
No.
Do I still have you guys here? Are you guys still there?
Yeah, right here.
Oh,
Why would you be expected to watch other people's children? Your son gets burnt and then you're arrested.
I don't know, but she was never arrested. And on top of that, her son that did this went to his uncle's house, which is neighboring our backyard, took a shower, took his sweatshirt off, put it in the garbage can, and then I don't know if it was the canine dogs that found it or the police officers that found the sweatshirt. So she was tampering with evidence, and that was never like brought to light. And then she got in the front seat of the police car, drove around the block, I don't know how long, and came back in the front seat. And let's not forget, her brother's a Bridgeport police officer, and she has relations with Bridgeport police officers in other ways, which I'm not going to state the whole facts, but I'm sure everybody can, understand what that means. And I know that because I was friends with her. So I've seen many of texts.
So let's talk about, okay, so the 911 call was made.
Mm-hmm.
Who went to the hospital with Dominic?
Dominic's dad, which is Aaron Krankall, went because they told me I had to stay to talk to the police officers.
Okay. Now, how long was he in the hospital? And I'm going to show the parade here in a second. And I want to know, I don't want to get invasive. Will he have to have more surgeries?
He was in there for a week and a day, and we're hoping not, but there's on his face, it's, you could tell where he was burned, so we don't know 100%. So they're still giving it a couple weeks to see what happens. So we're not 100% sure if he's going to need any kind of surgery or skin grafts or anything. So it's all up in the air right now.
Don't talk to me like I'm a baby, okay? I am practically a grown-up. I don't even need you here, Elizabeth.
You okay?
What does he think about the outpouring of love? And you guys too. I mean, you've had everyone talking to you. I mean, everyone.
We are so grateful. So grateful. He is too, but again, he's sick, so it's hard for him to understand. He's obviously grateful. He sees people out in public that notice him, and he just puts a big smile on his face and says thank you. Like, he's obviously very grateful. But again, he's sick, so it's hard for him to understand like we do. But we are so grateful. Like, it's amazing, like, what people have done. The good outweighs the bad. I know there's a lot of negativity, and that comes with anything, and we understand that. But we're very grateful for everyone, prayers, letters, anything. Like, we're so grateful.
Prayers, letters, the support of this community. I have another question, and whatever you can answer, you can answer. If you don't feel comfortable, we'll answer it. What is law enforcement doing as far as pressing charges? Because someone has got to be held accountable.
Only thing I've ever heard from them was them interrogating me. Besides that, nothing. That's all I've heard. There's nothing else that I've heard. Nothing. I have no other words. Like, they interrogated me. I'm pretty sure the reason why they only interrogated me and I've heard nothing else is because they have no other proof of what happened. Like, I've heard, like, my daughters were in our apartment before I took them out of it, hearing the downstairs people saying, Stefano, why? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to mention a name. Sorry. Why would you throw the ball at his face? Like, there's proof that he actually did it, but not like, video proof, but they've heard it said. So.
And you guys are living, obviously, not in the apartment anymore.
No, we're just wasting money in a hotel, like a really small hotel, and trying to find a house, like, to call home.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have a GoFundMe. How's that going?
That's for a home. That's all we want is a home. A safe home for our kids to live in. That's all we care about. It's not about the money. Nobody cares about the money. We just want a home to get out of Bridgeport, get into a home so our kids are safe. That's it. And we're actively looking, yes. I don't want to give too much information on that, but we're actively looking.
No, and don't. That's your business.
Yes.
Amy said they should try my hometown of Norwalk. The parents and that child need to be held accountable for this. I agree, Betty Jo. I agree. The mother there needs to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Where was she when this was going on?
So, from the beginning, she was home. When it actually happened, she was in front of the house. So, I don't even know how much information I can give, but
just be careful because people
exactly. So she was home at the beginning when the gas was brought into the backyard. She was home. When this all happened, she was in the front yard. So she was basically home for the whole thing. But she left for a little bit, but when she came back is when that happened, and she was in the front yard. So she was basically home for the whole thing. Just there was a little part where she wasn't home, but nothing happened in between that part that I knew of. But she was home for... It's so hard to explain without explaining the whole thing. Sorry.
Nope, you're doing fine.
And I have video coverage for that, so.
How old was the other child?
8.
8. Okay.
And just mind you, the same 8-year-old was the same one who was harassing my daughter when we were moving out.
And the police have all this information. I know they do because I know how you are.
They were right there on the scene when he was even harassing my daughter the day we were moving out. Like, he stepped into my apartment and I said to my daughters, please get him out of the apartment because I don't even want to see him. Like that. And she was, instead of her controlling her children, she was on the street talking to one of the men who were there to make sure that nothing bad happened. Like, she still wasn't controlling her children. Her child was in my apartment and I don't want to see him. Like, I'm not obviously not going to do anything to him because I'm an adult. I'm not going to do anything to him. He's a child, but she still wasn't controlling him. She let him come into my apartment. That should have never happened.
No, not at all. But at this point, you were in your apartment, and where was Dominic?
Oh, I would never bring him back there. He was with my daughters, and my daughter who's 20 years old, my 17-year-old. He was back at the hotel with them. I would never let him back to that house ever. He even asked to never go back there. He was not there. I would never bring him there. But the point is I don't want to see him. He should not be in my apartment. He should not be in my sight. Like, not okay. But again,
why would she let him just like roam
exactly,
around?
because she's not, because all she cares about is herself. She doesn't care. He was up there for a good 5 minutes. And I said to my daughters, they're like, so-and-so's in the apartment. And I'm like, please get him out. And they're like, he's not listening. He won't listen. I'm like, please just tell him to get out. I don't want to see him. Get him out. But she was on the street talking to other people instead of taking care of her kids. So, again, just who she is.
Right. Yeah. What I want to know, I mean, are her children going, of course we won't know, be removed from her care?
I'm going to tell you this right now. I highly doubt it because she has so many connects with Bridgeport PD. I highly doubt it. And you know what? That's sad because I don't want to see this child hurt anybody else or himself. And like I said, there's videos of him trying to hurt himself, and I don't want to see that happen.
No.
This is a baby himself, and he's doing this because his mother's not getting him the help that he needs. And that's sad. Because if this was my child, he'd already be in some kind of institution getting help.
The city of Bridgeport, a big parade for a...
No. Everything screams neglect. And I want to know, again, who taught him to soak this in gasoline, light on fire, and throw it at your son?
I'm sorry to say this, but we've lived there for a year, and they have played with gasoline and weed whackers, chainsaws, dangerous things the whole time we've been living there. That's why we tried to keep them away from them. But again, Dominic likes to be friends with everyone. So he went outside to say bye to someone and he got distracted hearing them in the backyard. These kids do bad things. They play with things all the time. They were just chasing my kids with an axe and a chainsaw with no blade on it, like 2 weeks prior. Like, just getting out of the car with groceries and into the house with my kids was a hassle. they would like tackle my kids to the ground when I had to drop my groceries and intervene while she was sitting there on her phone, not caring about what was going on. Like, it was like disgusting. It was disgusting because she had a lot going on in her life with her husband and, like, you know, things I can't even say because just a lot of things.
Where's her husband? A fucking axe? Really?
He left her
You
because
just mentioned an axe. What the hell is going on here?
yeah, an axe. An axe. Yeah. Yep. Chasing my kids with an axe. And I said, come on. And she was just on her phone, didn't care, playing on her phone. So I had to drop my groceries, grab the axe, which they said, like, you know, they tried to like hit me with it, but I grabbed it, put it on the wall, and then take my kids, try to get them inside. Then they got a hold of the axe again. They try to come at the kids, and it's like a chase, like to get my kids inside before they get the axe again. Like, it was ridiculous. I even texted my fiance saying, like, I have anxiety just getting in the house with our kids because then they like barricade the door. They jump on the porch and barricade the door so we can't get in. And this is a 11-year-old, however old he is. It's ridiculous. Like, it was ridiculous the whole time, but it just got worse. And she doesn't care. Her husband supposedly just left her, burned their wedding pictures. You know, he knows a lot of things that's going on with her and her extracurricular activities, as I can say. So, but you know what? He shows more compassion than she ever has. And she was my friend. She never once said, "Is Dominic okay?" Never once. All the last word she said to me was, "Your son did this to himself." That's sad.
Yeah.
As a friend, if this was my kid that did this, I would have been like, "I am so sorry. I will get my kid the help he needs. And I hope your son is okay." But again, she can never admit when her kids are wrong.
Well, I mean, kids with an axe would be red flag number one for every adult involved.
Little kids with an axe, they run around with a chainsaw all the time. Gas is a soccer ball to them. Like,
yeah,
this is nothing new. This is nothing new to them.
Yeah.
Like, this is what she lets them do all the time. So it's sad. Like, it's really sad.
It's beyond sad. I mean, because your son was burnt bad.
He could have been dead.
I mean, you explained. I mean, his leg was smoking.
Did you even hear how he even knew how to stop, drop, and roll?
Yeah. And
like, if he didn't do that, God even knows what could have happened. And that was all in the matter of like, I don't even know, not even 5 minutes. Like,
that was like 5 seconds.
It was like within a minute or two. Not even.
Right, it was only like 30 seconds. Less than that.
All right, hang on one second. John Davis True Crime is in here. He said somebody needs to be in jail a long time. Somebody does. Somebody needs to be in jail for a long time. And I agree. Kids with axes, gasoline, lighters, that's not the kid's fault.
Nope.
Nope, it's not.
Maybe the parents you work for left you $40 in emergency. Maybe they left me 30.
Little boy.
6-year-old Dominick Krankall in the hospital burned badly while playing with 2 other kids, playing with a gasoline can and a lighter.
Not a good combination.
opportunity in Bridgeport today, trying to lift the boys' spirits in a real act of kindness.
Here's Marcus Solos.
From the window, a wave of thanks, though there are too many bandages on Dominick Krankall's face to make out a smile. Sirens blaring, vehicles parading, lifting the 6-year-old boy's spirits with the first responders from Bridgeport and beyond.
To say we're with you 100%. I hope it's a message that will continue to give him the strength that he needs as he goes through from here forward.
Dominic was seriously burned Sunday afternoon. Today, police were back at the multifamily house where the incident took place in the backyard. Dominic's family claims he was bullied, injured when a flaming tennis ball was thrown at his face by the children of the property owner. The mother of those kids denied that version of events to Eyewitness News yesterday.
There was no bullying whatsoever involved. None.
Laura Jacoby says the kids often played together, but Dominic's family says he suffered a concussion last month after being pushed by an 8-year-old.
Obviously, kids are going to be kids and they're going to play, but that kid took it way too far. And it wasn't an accident. This was premeditated.
Despite suffering 2nd and 3rd degree burns, Dominic's doctors say they expect him to make a full recovery.
He is a tough little young man, and his spirits are actually very good. He's very, very, very grateful for all of as well as his family. His mom and dad have both said how grateful they are for all of the support that they are receiving.
Dominic will remain hospitalized for at least several more days. Meantime, the police investigation into the bullying claims continues.
Yeah. Leaving in the morning. What? I'm leaving in the morning.
I have to go to work.
No, Dad. I don't want to. I don't want to. And I don't need to.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey. So in Dominic's future care, what's going to happen with, his injuries and therapy for him and your entire family?
Sorry. He's gonna obviously need therapy because there's a lot of things that trigger a lot of what happened, which we've already set up. And as far as his burns, that's still up in the air. He still has to see someone every week.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. So he's gonna need obviously therapy, like I said, that's already been set up, and then his burns. He's probably gonna be, he's gonna have some discoloration, and we have to still explain that to him. So it's healing, but you can still see it's very, very red every day. And he doesn't understand why. So,
is he in pain?
No, he's not. He's not. Not in pain. No. He looks at himself every day and he says, "I look really good," and we say, "Yes, you do. You look amazing."
Of course he does.
Yes.
Of course he does.
He is healing amazing, but obviously we know that there's it gets really red, so we're talking to experts about that, so we're gonna see what happens.
And in the meantime, you guys are living in a hotel.
Yes.
How is he getting back and forth to the doctors? And how are you guys getting the therapy?
Well, we have a visiting nurse that comes. So she comes like 2 or 3 times a week. And then we go to the burn center 1 time a week. So, and they're doing an out-of-school program for him, a homebound program for him for schooling.
And in the meantime, why on earth has nothing happened with the mother of the other child?
I'm sure there's a lot of reasons. They're saying it's under investigation, but there's other issues. So with her, with them, ties to the Bridgeport Police Department. So I guess that's the only reason. Like, we don't really know. Sadly, it's kind of like we don't know. Like, we made our complaint, like they know what happened, but right now it's kind of like our hands are tied. We just have to wait for them to understand what actually happened.
Can I say hi?
Of course you can. Dominic wants to say hi.
Hi, Dominic.
Hi.
So hi.
Hi.
Hi, Dominic. How are you?
Good.
How are you feeling, buddy?
Good. Auntie, hi, Mom. Auntie, hi. Auntie, hi. Mom, where's the kitty coming from?
Everyone say hi to Dominic.
Auntie, hi, Pop. Hi. Auntie, hi, up you. Auntie, hi, up, are you? Hi.
Hi, Dominic.
That's
Hey, Dominic, how are you feeling?
good.
Good. All right, good. What's your favorite thing to do during the day?
Ghost Mommy. Hi. 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 Mom, let me to hi, Doc. Hi.
Sorry, I have my 3-year-old here too saying hi. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Hi. Hi. Auntie, hi. Ma. What? No, Auntie, hi.
What is Dominic's favorite TV show?
Monster House.
Monster House. Really? What is that? Tell me all about it.
It's these little kids. They play that, and their ball, if it goes on their neighbor's yard, the neighbor takes it because the neighbor's a bad person. It's scary and I like it. Eat, buddy.
Really?
Eat,
You know that you were the first kid I've ever had on this show, Dominic.
No, eat, buddy. No.
Dominic, what is your favorite thing to eat?
Broccoli and apples. Me. Broccoli and apples.
Broccoli and apples? Really?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, it's healthy.
It's healthy. You're right. Wow.
Hi.
Mason.
What?
I'm not out, Daddy.
No. I want my name back. I want my name. No, I want my name. My name. Why is my name? Nah. My name. Teddy. My name.
You ask if they're still there.
Are you still there?
Yes, right here. A lot of people are here for you. A lot of people.
Hi.
Dominic, where do you want to go on vacation this summer?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
My last winter.
Really? Well, You know, my son lives in Las Vegas.
Mom,
Do you hear what she's saying?
I just pulled out.
Yes.
Mom, what's going on?
Sorry, he just saw he had a splinter. Get it?
Just for the winter.
No, he has a splinter.
Oh, splinter. I'm sorry. I thought you said for the winter.
No,
I
you got it. You got it. Okay. Now you can talk to her. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. You want to go to Las Vegas?
Yes, it's by ninjas.
Really? You know what? Everyone in here is so happy that you're doing good and you feel good.
What do you say to that?
Thank you.
Thank you. You have brought happy tears to my face and everyone else.
Can you drink this? What? Oh my God.
She said you brought happy tears to her face.
What? Happy?
She's telling you what she said. You brought happy tears to her face. What do you say?
Thank you.
Okay.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Who's Mom? This is my computer, right? It's still there.
Yeah.
You can mute your mouth.
I think it's just a delay.
That's okay. That happens. That happens.
Mom, I think it's crossed.
Dominic.
Yeah?
Thank you for.
What?
I didn't expect you to be on here, but thank you so much for coming on. And I mean, everyone loves hearing your voice. And you're feeling good, right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm going to wind this down. I mean, honestly, this was amazing. And I'm so happy that he is doing good. And we're going to go forward from this to make sure something happens, to make sure from what happened to Dominic, justice will be served.
So are we. All we care about is him being better, and he's healing so great. That's all we can care about right now. And this smile on his face, like I'm seeing right now, like it's amazing.
And he wants to go to Vegas.
And he wants to go to Vegas.
North Vegas.
Las Vegas.
To see Spy Ninjas.
To see Spy Ninjas. Okay.
My favorite show in the entire world.
Oh, okay.
Then I'll bring my stun shots.
Okay.
And the hackers. I'm going to take the hackers and put them down. I'm going to go.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Dominic. Las Vegas is a fun town. What do you want to do there, Dominic?
He wants to see his Spy Ninjas. It's a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna let the family get back to what they're doing, and
thank you.
I'm so happy that Dominic is alive and well. This could have turned out way worse.
So much worse.
So much worse.
I think about that all the time. So much worse. We're blessed to still have him here. That's our thing every day.
Let's light up the chat real quick for Dominic. It was so great to hear him and he's great. He's doing good. And Mom, Dad. Oh, Dominic.
What's that? Was that the camera?
Yeah.
So you can see out there.
Hold on, I don't know if we're on camera. Are we on camera? Oh, we're not. Okay. Oh, there you go. There you are.
Oh, Dominic. Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Good. Mom. Huh? Huh?
Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dominic. Dominic.
Yeah.
What is your favorite color?
Rainbow. My God. Nice on camera.
Don't you like red and black?
And rainbow.
Okay.
And red.
You can tell her what you like.
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Okay. Okay.
What was the first letter of rainbow? Mom, what's the first color of rainbow? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J.
Of the word? R.
No, Ma. The first color.
Red?
Next. Red. Next.
I think yellow. I'm not sure.
Yellow. What next?
Green.
Green.
Blue. I'm not
Green,
sure.
blue. Pretty blue. Ma, what's the color in your hair?
Gray.
Blue-eyed gray. Look, your eyes are blue. Gray-eyed blue. Wait, Ma. Camera right there. Camera right there. We might even block us. Let me see.
Well, don't do that. We're talking to someone people who really love you.
Ma.
How about you just say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody. Ready.
Hi, Dominic. Careful. Mason, careful. Okay. All right, Dominic, say hi and bye to everyone.
Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody.
How about you say thank you?
Thank you.
How about in normal voice?
Thank you.
That's not normal voice.
Rainbow, my rainbow.
My rainbow. Red, yellow, blue, purple.
You're very smart.
Now look. There's pitas.
I see.
It says there's a ring that has two arms.
Okay, say thank you to everybody because they
Thank
can't
you,
stay
everybody.
up forever.
Why?
Because they want to go to bed.
Why?
Because it's late. Say thank you.
Thank you.
In a normal voice so they know who you are.
Thank you.
You tell them what you lost today?
A tooth.
You lost a tooth?
But I pulled it out.
Really? Well, you've had a lot of stuff going on.
Ma, could you do this?
No.
Why?
Because I don't close it.
Ma. Can you do this? Why do you move my hand?
Well, Dominic, you are such a sweet little guy, and you are basically a hero for what you've been through.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you to your mama. Thank you to your dad. Everyone.
My tooth, it came out. That tooth.
And the tooth fairy will come see you soon.
No. Tooth fairy's on its way right now. Probably gonna be $2.
Yeah, you have to go to bed so the tooth fairy can come.
We are gonna go to bed.
Can you say bye and thank you to everyone?
Bye, thank you, everyone. Can you my tooth? Show them my toothy. What's your tooth?
He wants to show you his tooth. Hold on.
Okay.
Do you have it? Oh.
Give it a second.
Careful. You have to tilt it.
I'm stopping. What? My tooth. My tooth. If you do mine.
That's a shark tooth.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Tiny.
No, that's a shark tooth.
No, it isn't. Here, my tooth. My tooth.
How can your tooth be that big?
It's not. It's tiny.
That's a shark tooth.
No, it isn't.
It's like I'm watching the movie Jaws.
It's not the shark tooth. It's my tooth.
That's my tooth.
It's my tooth. My tooth. What? It's my tooth.
Well, Dominic, you are something else. You are an amazing, amazing, amazing young man. And your mama is a wonderful mama.
Oh, excuse you.
Oh, my tooth.
What do you say?
Excuse me.
All right. Well, they've muted the microphones. So, time for everyone to get to bed. You're muted. See, they're talking and they're muted.
Sorry, he unmuted us. Sorry.
No, I didn't. You did.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
Can you give everyone a kiss? Good night. Say bye, Dominic. We love you, Dominic.
Love you too.
Say in a normal voice.
Love
Because your
you
normal
too.
voice is so cute.
Love you too. That better?
Yes.
Now I drink my Coca-Cola.
Yes. All right. Say goodnight.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. I will text you right after this and see how everything's going, and we will catch up later, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
What a horrific story of what has happened to Dominic. And how he has bounced back and is such a little fighter. What do you guys think? I mean, what an amazing little child. His mom and what they're going through, his dad, everything. I mean, these are amazing, amazing people. Amazing people. Again, sorry for the last minute live. You know how things go around here. You all know. But little Dominic has stolen our hearts. Yeah, light up the chat for Dominic. This should have never happened to him. Never. He is such a strong little boy. Yep, he's very strong. You're right, Outlaw. He's very strong. He's a fighter. And he's absolutely adorable. Amy said, oh my God, it hits close to home because I grew up in Connecticut. Excuse me. My father used to live in Bridgeport and he was, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. My father used to live in Bridgeport when he was Dominic's age. Exactly. Yeah. So we are here for Dominic. We were here for his family. And this shouldn't have happened. Nothing like this should have happened. So we, as a community, we just keep doing what we always do. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. You guys are the best community and the best chat on YouTube. You're the best. Don't let anyone tell you different. I will see you tomorrow morning.